Hey guys, welcome back to Easel Does It Studio. My name is Michelle, and this is part of a collaboration that I am doing, and it's fall themed. So I will have the link in the description of all the artists that are doing this collaboration so that you will be able to binge watch if you would like. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do two fall themed clocks. I have got some acorns that I picked out of my yard. Well, my granddaughter picked them up for me. So we're going to add a few acorns. I do have some pine cones. These I ordered on Michael's. It was just a big bag of pine cones. And I've got a whole bunch of different fall flower type stuff. So we're just gonna jump into it. I don't know exactly what I'm doing. I do know I want this to be fall themed. That's pretty much it. So I did mix up 8 ounces of resin so I can get a layer in the bottom so that we can start adding our flowers to it. So remember, we're building this backwards because this is the front of the clock. So we've got to remember everything has to go in upside down, and the flowers got to go first and then the leaves go in the back so that when we demold it, it's gonna look right. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna spray some alcohol, and we're gonna get some resin into the bottom of these 2 clocks. So I want just a thin layer in the bottom to start, and then we will put the other 4 ounces over the flowers once we get them in to help keep them set down, if that makes any sense. All right. So I can see, I'm gonna try to prop this cup so that it can finish draining into the other one. All right, so I do have a few bubbles that I'm just gonna try to work up to the surface. And I have a hair or something in there. And I'm gonna try to keep my head out of the camera view. Sometimes it's a little hard when I'm trying to see if there are like any cling-on bubbles down in there. There's a few wanting to sit on the bottom here. So we're gonna work them up. So this is my first collaboration. I was kind of nervous. I'm like, oh, I'm still fairly new on YouTube, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go for it, guys. All right, so let me try to get any of those bubbles that I've just got moving to the top. Come on. Like, this is the worst part for me. I love putting the flowers in and building. It's just getting the bubbles out. And I did run this through my Resiners debubbler. All right, so let me just bring it up close so I can See here, make sure we have no visible bubbles. All right, so that is looking pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna pour, now that I drained the resin, I'm gonna pour a little bit in this cup so that I can dunk my, my acorns. Just so that I can get them into soaking in there to kind of get them filled so that there's going to be no chance of bubbles clinging in there. So let's see, I got 2, 4, 6. Let's start with, I don't know, 8, I guess. And we'll see how that looks. Oh, that one's kind of big. Oh, well. All right, so we're gonna stir that. Just that way there we're getting that resin into all of those little grooves where bubbles like to hide and then cause you havoc at the end. And I don't want that. So these little buggers are gonna have to cooperate with me here. All right, so let me grab my tweezers here. And I want them like at the bottom so that it looks like they're laying sideways, so that the front of the pine cone is going to be facing us. And I'm going to try to do them kind of like what I do in one, I'm going to try to do in the other. And I will be posting at least one of these on my website for sale at the end. So if anybody is interested. All right, so let's and then I'm going to do the same thing. Originally, I was going to do a tray, but my tray wasn't deep enough to use these pieces. So I just pivoted last minute. All right. So I'm going to give them a spritz. I'm just going to pick out a few. I did dry these for like 3 weeks. I did not wash them. So they've got whatever on them. I will wipe them down with probably some alcohol before I drop them in the resin. Oh, that's a nice double one. And oh, I have another double one. All right, let me put those there. And I am just gonna kind of spritz them down and give them just a quick wipe. Really? Oh, we're gonna be playing pickup today, guys. All right, so let's just, you know, I probably should have like washed them before I dried them, but I was afraid it would separate them, and I didn't want that to happen. I wanted some of the caps to be able to stay on. Now, this is the first time I'm using anything that I myself have collected, so we're gonna see if it works. And I just didn't want, like, I don't know, a little flecks of dirt or whatever floating around in the resin. So I'm like, yeah, if I just wipe them off like this should be fine. And we're going to plop them in, and we're going to give them a little stir around. And we'll take the tweezers. All right, so that one has bigger pine cones. So we're going to put the bigger acorns in this piece. And we'll put the smaller double in this piece. Just like that. And there are a few bubbles that are coming off of this. And then I'll make a decision on what color we're going to back coat this after. All right, and then let's see. I'll just stick another one. We'll make it like an odd number. All right. So let me wipe these tweezers off, and let's start putting some flowers in. And I have a couple of packages that I had opened from the other day. I had done a fall coaster set. So I left them out because I knew that I was going to be doing this. So, and let me just, all right, so, and I only have one big orange one. So when you're doing these, make sure, like, that's the back of the flower. So we have to make sure that side is facing down. So I'm just gonna put that in and hope and pray that we have no bubbles forming underneath there. So I'm just gonna push this down, and my resin is getting a little bit thicker, so that helps kind of hold them in. All right. Now, I'm going to open up this other package. So this one's going to have more of a red one versus an orange. And then we can put, you know, some red in here as well, but and I think this is 2. No, it's 1. All right, so we're just gonna push that down in. And these are, I usually would dip them in my resin, but these flowers, I don't remember. I think I got them on Temu. They are so thin. There's no way that I would be able to get them out once I dipped them in the resin. So that's why I'm not pre-dipping these ones. All right, so oh, well, we got a little yellow orange flower up there, and we're just gonna lay that in there, and let's see. And we're gonna lay that one in here. And we're gonna get that down. By the time I'm done doing these, guys, I am a sticky mess, for sure. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna put a couple of yellow ones. Making sure that I have the right face down. And we'll put this here. And we're gonna break this stem off because I don't want that stem. And that's the front there. And I've got a couple of daisies that we will put, because daisies are always a nice fall flower. So again, the front, I'm gonna flip it over to put the back on heavy. And I'm layering on purposely on top of my other flowers because that's gonna give you a much more realistic look. And let me grab a couple of these yellow ones here. And I'm gonna put one there. And we're gonna overlap those ones just a bit. Gonna put another daisy. And so they're gonna be similar, but they're not gonna be identical. And I do want to put a little bit of red in this one as well. I mean, some of these are just so thin. All right, so let's, I've got to, this one needs a little bit more on flowers. Let's put that there. And that way the stem's behind those flowers. And we will just add a little bit of color. And any parts that are gonna stick up, just kind of break off. You know what? Hang on. I'm gonna break that stem right off. There we go. And let's put some in here. I love doing floral arrangements. I just wish it wasn't so expensive to do floral to be able to make them and sell them. It's just the flowers cost so much that it's crazy. All right, so let's do, this one has more red, so we'll put a little bit of, put some red just peeking through here. And up in there. And let's, I just want a good array of color, that's all. All right, there's kind of a bald spot there, and a little bit of a bald spot there. I love these little things. I don't know what they're called, but they're really cute. All right, so that's good there. And let's see. All right, I guess. Just want a little something, you know, coming up to the top. These flowers right here, I ended up getting these at Michael's. And let's put a little fluffy, furry thing in there. And I got another one here. All right, so now we can start putting a little bit of green that's gonna poke through. All right, so let me grab my greeneries here. I need a bigger table when I'm doing this, though. I really, really do. Because I end up having stuff everywhere. Anybody else like that? You know, some of these might show, they might not. My husband must be getting home from the store. That's why the dogs are barking. Oh, no, you know what it is? I think my UPS guy just came. Yeah. You're going to definitely want to watch the video that's going to be the day before this one comes out. So if you're seeing this, go back and watch the one right before it, because that's going to be a fun one. All right. So, I mean, I don't want to put too much, but I also don't want to have too much blank space. I'd like to be able to, you know, see that these are full. Let me just, you know what, I think that's gonna be good. Do I have anything else that, no, I think that's gonna be good. So now I'm gonna pour another thin layer of the clear over this. just to help those flowers set down. And then I'm going to leave this for until the resin is tacky. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to decide on a color. Now, I have never done a clock with a white background, and I'm almost thinking of doing that with this one, only because I think it's going to help the colors stand out a little bit more in this clock. So I want to make sure that everything is in and coated. So, I mean, these are sitting really good. If I was doing this in clear, I could continue to fill this up. But because I want to back coat it with a color, we are just going to let this cure up a little bit. So I will put my heat mat on, and then I'll come back in about, I don't know, an hour and a half or so, and we will mix up some resin and get this back coated. And I will, you know, keep an eye on this for any bubbles that I can physically see. The reason I put it on my heat mat is so that I could move it. So if I do want to start my next project, I have my workspace. But for right now, I'm just going to leave it here, and we're going to let it cure, and then I will be back for the next step, guys. Alrighty, guys, it's been like 5 hours, and these, it's, you know, it's dry to the touch, but you can still leave a fingerprint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one in white, and then I'm going to do one in like a kind of a creamy color. So I have mixed up 8 ounces of resin. I did run it through my debubbler. So I'm going to put 8 ounces in 1 cup, which, you know, just created a whole bunch of bubbles, but it is what it is. It's okay. All right. So I am going to take, this is just by recollections. I got it at Michael's, I don't know, a year or 2 ago. And it's just white, and it's just a mica powder. And that's what we're going to use to color one of them. These take 12 ounces. I've done 4 ounces in each. So if my math is correct, it should take 8 ounces. So I'm just going to put a good scoop in here, and we're going to see what this gives us. Because I want it to be opaque. Of course, I'm getting it everywhere. And you want to make sure that you mix that mica powder in really good, because if not, it's going to sink, it's going to float, it's going to be a mess. So you definitely want to make sure that you mix that in really, really good. And it's a really, really nice pearly white. All right, let me just, oh my gosh. I've got it everywhere. I'm just gonna get that mica powder off my desk. And I'm just making sure that I'm scraping the sides. All right. So I'm gonna clean my stick. I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit, and we're gonna mix up the other 8 ounces because I made 16. So this is the iridescent iris, which is a really pretty color. It has like hues of pink through it. See how you can see some of the pink? So we're going to use a little bit of that one, and then we're going to use the Pearl Sparkle. So I'm just going to mix these two together. So that way the backgrounds are a little bit different, but yet they're similar. And this one should mix in much easier because I have more space. And in the meantime, the other one, you know, we can make sure that if there's any mica powder, it's floating up or whatever so that we can remix that. I probably should have mixed the color and then put it through the debubbler, but, you know, it is what it is. I've got a couple of projects going today, and I just wasn't thinking. All right, so I definitely want a little bit more. I want this to be a little bit more opaque. So I'm just going to put the Pearl Sparkle. I'm going to put a little bit more of that in, because I want this to be an opaque color. I don't want to be able to see through it, but I wanted a light enough color that the flowers and the leaves and everything would kind of show through and hopefully help bring the colors out more. So, all right, so that is definitely better. And this has a really, really nice shimmer to it. All right. So, see, we've got some mica powder floating on the top. So we're just going to kind of mix this again. Ah. Yeah, and I never said I was, you know, a neat crafter. All right, so let's go ahead. We're gonna spritz the back of this just to help any bubbles that may try and form. And we're just gonna get this poured. Okie dokie. So I think I was a little bit off on my calculations because we are pretty full. I mean, I can put a little bit more, but there's no way that I'm putting another 3 ounces in there. Ain't happening. So I will find something to do with whatever we have for extras. I'm going to push that aside. We're going to leave that. And we're going to mix this up again. All right. And we're going to fill this one. So I'm hoping, because this is somewhat thick, that it's going to be opaque enough. All right. And let's just pour. We can fit a little bit more in here. All right, so that is pretty much all we're gonna fit in here. Pop that, that, and that. All right, so let me go ahead and we're gonna just scrape. We're gonna mix the two colors, and I'll probably add another color and we'll make something. Once I know how much we have. All right, I'm gonna scrape out as much as we can possibly get. All right, so we've got 4 ounces. So yeah, I was kind of way off on my calculations. So let me just stir these two colors together. And I am going to add a little bit more of this iridescent. I just got a new mold, and it is an angel. So I'm going to pull that out, and I think this will fill it up. And I think that little bit of pink hue in there will just be kind of what she needs. All right, so let me grab that mold. It is, I believe it's the Virgin Mother or something like that. So I'm just going to give it a good spritz of alcohol, and I'm going to squish it around. And I hope she stands up on her own. And I'm going to pour about half of it, and then I'm going to do a squishy squishy just to kind of make sure she is. We've got all the little nooks and crannies. Now this is a brand new mold. I have never poured this one yet, so I hope I have enough. I don't even know how much it takes. Oh, and you know what? Hang on here. I've got to pull a smidgen out of here because we are overflowing. And this one is just a smidge over. All right, that one looks good. This one still is a little bit over. All right, those are looking better. All right, so let's finish filling our I'm just trying to make sure there's no like pockets of air anywhere. All right, so we have 1.5 ounces left. I will find something to pour that in, and I will be back on Demold. Alrighty, guys, I am back. I just took these off the heat mat. This one came out perfect on the back. This one ended up with a bubble. I filled it with some UV resin. So, yeah. I got making supper and didn't come back down in time. When I did, it was too late. So, you know, it's just one of those things. So I have my gloves on just because the resin is still warm and I have developed an allergy to resin. So I am doing my best to try and prevent any further breakouts. Plus, I figured maybe it won't leave fingerprints on it. All right, so we've got one out. Flip my mold back. Let's get this one out. I love this color here. I mean, it's pretty solid, but it's still a little warm, so I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna take a chance. And I got a piece of flour stuck on the bottom. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. So, are we ready to see how these look? All right. 1, 2, 3. Oh, those are really cute. I really like that. And I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but the white has like a shimmer in it. It's not real sparkly, but it's not, I don't know. It's sparkly, but not in your face. So there is 2 little bubbles there, but I can deal with that. So let's see the second one. Oh, nice. Okay, and this one has no bubbles. Oh, we do. We have one right on that leaf. But I like it. I like it with the white background. I do have just a little trimming to do on the edge, but I'm gonna wait until that's completely hard. So let's see which clock face is going to look the best. And I just get these off Amazon. They come in a 6-pack. You just have to watch your faces. Are you kidding me? That's cracked, that's cracked. Oh, man. And I thought I checked those when I first got them. All right, I think I have another one in the drawer. I do. Thank goodness. All right, because I want to see which one is going to look the best. All right, so let's take out... We'll pop a gold one, and we'll pop a silver one just to kind of see which one looks better. I really like the gold face in them, but with this one has some sparkle. Whoop. Let's see if that one doesn't look so bad in that one. This one here, definitely the gold. Okay, so let's get the little clippies in. All right, so now that I've got them out, I should be able to take my gloves off because, well, let's get this demolded first before I take my gloves off. This is a brand new mold that I just got in like 2 days ago. So let me put some soapy water down in here so we can try and get this out a little bit easier. Oop. She's still bendy, so I don't want to break her. I was afraid of this one because the opening is not very big at all. Hang on. I got it up against my body, guys. Hang on. It's slowly coming out. want to get it out because I got to get this video to the girl with the collaboration. There we go. Let me grab a paper towel. All right. Oh, she's beautiful. Look at how beautiful. So I got a little trimming on the bottom, but again, I'm going to wait until that's completely hard. Oh, she is gorgeous. Okay, now I can take my gloves off and we can get these clocks together. All right, so let's take our little doohickey things. And it comes with 3 of them. The first 2 are easy. You take the part that has the little nip on it, the flat part, and you just pop it all the way down into that groove and into this groove. And then you take the back off, and the other one goes in there. Like that. And then you can pop your back on. Like that. And then this just pops right into your clock. Just like that. Then you can change your battery. You can fix your time with your little knob right here. So that is the first one. And let's get this one done. Where did I put the little clippy clips? Really? Can't be far. Well, I'm going to just rob one out of the other one and hope and pray that I find it. I know it's here amongst the mess somewhere. All right, so now remember, guys, this is part of a collaboration. So the link will be in the description for all of the people doing the collaboration, so you'll have plenty of videos to binge on. So make sure you share it out with anybody that would be interested. And like I said, this is my first time doing a collaboration, so I'm kind of excited. But again, I'm last minute, so I'm trying to get this done so I can get this posted and get this over to her so she can put it in the list. You know, sometimes your hands don't work, like sometimes your mouth doesn't catch up with your brain. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at tonight. All right, and this is our second one. And this is the one that has the little bubble in the back, but it's in the back, so it's not going to show. And I will get this all cleaned up, and I will get these posted on my website. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. I will get some close-up pictures, and I will see you guys all on the next video. Bye, guys.